The views and opinions expressed by the host do not state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host, guests, do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Across continents and beyond political boundaries, a legal battle unfolds. One that places leadership, legacy, and accountability under the gaze of the international community. From the streets of the Philippines to the chambers of The Hague, the case involving former President Rodrigo Duterte continues to spark debate, raising questions not only of justice but of politics, power, and national sovereignty. As the world watches and opinions sharply divide, the story moves into a critical turning point. Tonight, we examine the issues, the implications, and the narratives behind the headlines. Ako po si Ox Ballado, and this is the PH Insider on TV. At para higit nating maunawaan ang mga legal na usapin sa mga isyong ating pag-uusapan, makakasama pa rin natin ang nagbabalik na pinagkakapitagang attorney ng bayan. Good evening, Atty. Reyzandro Unay.
Good evening, kabalyero, at magandang gabi sa ating mga kababayan. Samahan niyo kami sa isa na namang oras na paghihimay ng mga isyong napapanahon. Ako po si Atty. Reyzandro Unay.
At syempre, para naman tulungan tayong himayin ang mga isyong politikal at matalinong diskurso, veterano po sa larangan ng mga isyong politikal, matapang, diretso at matalino sa kanyang mga binibitawang pahayag at pagpapaliwanag, academician from the University of Santo Tomas and international relations expert, our resident political analyst, Professor Dennis Coronacion.
Good evening, Sir Ox and Attorney. Narito naman po tayo upang samahan ko kayo na silipin ang mga issues na nagbabaga ngayon. So, magandang gabi po ulit.
Kompleto ang team natin ngayon, Dr. Dennis Coronacion.
Yes.
Ang nagbabalik na si Atty. Reyzandro Unay ay presente po ngayon. Ang headline na tinutukan ngayon o tinututukan ngayong linggo ng Sambayanan, ICC confirmation hearings, isyung politikal para sa mga abogado ni Duterte. Para sa kampo ng depensa ng dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, pawang mga drama lamang at walang konkretong laman ang naging presentasyon ng prosekusyon at mga kinatawan ng mga biktima sa war on drugs noong nakaraang International Criminal Court confirmation hearing sa kasong Crimes Against Humanity laban kay Duterte. Ipinunto rin ng mga abogado na may layuning politikal ang kasong kinakaharap ng dating Pangulo. Ayon sa legal counsel ni Duterte, target ng argumentong ito na pahinain ang impluensya at pawalang saysay ang mga nagawa ni Duterte sa bansa. Iginit din ng kampo na may matagal ng polisiya ang pamahalaan na tulungan ang mga Pilipinong nahaharap sa kaso sa ibang bansa. Bagay na anilay hindi umano na ipakita sa sitwasyon ng dating Pangulo. Naniniwala rin ang ilang miyembro ng depensa na may kinalaman sa umiiral na political dynamics ang pagpapatuloy ng proseso laban kay Duterte. Kabilang ang umano'y layuning alisin ang mga itinuturing na hadlang sa kasalukuyang administrasyon. Sa kabila nito, kumpiyansa ang legal team ng dating Pangulo na makapaghahain ng matibay na depensa ang kanyang lead counsel sa nakatakdang rebuttal presentation sa ICC. Samantala, hindi dumalo si Duterte sa mga pagdinig matapos payagan ng ICC pre-trial chamber ang kanyang kahilingang hindi na personal na humarap habang dinidinig kung may sapat na ebidensya upang ituloy ang ganap na paglilitis laban sa kanya. Patuloy namang sinusubaybayan ng international community ang magiging resulta ng mga pagdinig na magtatakda kung uusad sa full trial ang kaso laban sa dating Pangulo. And now we turn to the issue shaping the defining moment, or this defining moment. I understand it's going to be the last day nitong confirmation of charges ng ICC.
Ngayon yata ang last day nila.
The first, the second, were okay, no? Nakapag-presenta naman ng maayos yung depensa, yung prosekusyon. Initially, anong reaction mo doon pala, Prof. Dennis, nung napanood yung first day?
Well, it's very explosive. Kasi inabangan ng lahat kung ano yung paglalatag ng mga argumento ng magkabilang kampo, no? And gaya nga na nasabi nyo kanina, parang political yung pinupunto ng defense lawyer o counsel ni former President Duterte. On the other hand, yung prosecution naman parang parang gusto sabihin na may kinalaman ng Pangulo at mayroong hierarchy of command upang maisagawa daw yung EJK.
Well, ikaw, Attorney Reyzandro,
Yes,
yung initial na reaction mo bilang isang abogado. Of course, you have your own.
With due deference later on sa mga ipapaliwanag ni Dean Amado Valdez, ang nature kasi ng confirmation proceedings nito ay hindi pa ito yung trial na proper. Ito ay preliminary hearing pa lang ito. So dito pa lang hihimayin ng ating mga ICC judges kung meron ngang evidence to support the allegations or the charges. At kung i-confirm nila, ibig sabihin, yun ang mapoproceed sa trial. Now, sa nakita natin, mukhang tatlo yung charges. Hindi natin alam kung alin doon sa mga charges na tatlo ang i-confirm ng ating mga judges sa ICC para magtuloy-tuloy sa trial. Kasi pwedeng mangyari dyan, either yung tatlo ay tanggapin nila na para mag-proceed sa trial, depende sa ebidensya preliminary na ilalatag ng prosecution at depende rin sa pagdidiscredit ng defense. Pwede rin lahat yun ay i-reject. At pwede rin partial. Pwedeng isa lang ang pumasok or dalawa ang pumasok, yung isa ay i-reject. O kaya, pwede rin mangyari na yung ICC judges, kung kailangan, bitin pa sila sa evidences, pwede nilang i-require yung prosecution na maglahad pa ng karagdagang ebidensya. Because as you know, ito yung unang i-hurdle ng prosecution. Ang burden of proof ay nasa prosecution.
Precisely.
So, ang gagawin lang talaga ng depensa dito ay i-discredit yung ilalahad ng mga evidence or kaya yung mga allegations ng ating prosecution.
I think there's going to be a very long and tedious process that this trial has to go through, or even the determination of charges, given that, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned earlier about 60 days before they're able to determine whether the charges are really
kung i-reject
or tatanggapin in order for the trial to proceed.
Yes.
Ganun pala kahaba ito?
Yeah, mahaba kasi although ang alam ko iba yung procedures when compared to the procedures sa the local court. Pero balikan ko po yung sinasabi ni attorney kanina na although hindi pa naman talaga to yung formal trial, this is just a pre-trial stage. Pero tingin ko crucial din ho ito, kasi may nakikita ko at least the two possibilities after this pre-trial stage o yung confirmation of charges. Isa dyan, pwedeng ma-dismiss lahat ng mga charges at hindi na magtutuloy yung trial. Ikalawa naman, pwedeng all of the charges or some of the charges will push through and matutuloy yung trial.
Yun ang mangyayari. Tante po ito, dahil karamihan po dito na mga chinacharge natin dito, kinakasuhan ay mga presidente or ex-presidents. So, most likely, merong mga kaso na politically motivated talaga. Hindi maiwasan yan. Kaya wag tayong magtaka kung bakit yung takbo ng depensa ay papunta kaagad doon sa political motivation. So, template yan na defense palagi sa mga iba't ibang mga ICC cases na nagkaroon ng trial na sa ICC. So, yun palagi ang threshold ng pinaka-shelter ng defense.
Joining us on the phone is the Dean of the University of the East College of Law. Good evening, Attorney Amado Valdez, and welcome to the PH Insider on TV.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Maluwanag ba ang dating ko sa inyo dyan, sir?
Yes, very loud and clear now. Thank you.
Okay. What I'm saying is, at this point in time, parang jury na ito, sir. But the court here is not just the formal court of the International Court of Justice. We have also the court of world opinion. Kaya, yung opening statement will be narrative. Will this really fall under a crime against humanity? If I were the lawyer for the president, former president, i-compare ko siya kay Pol Pot. I-compare ko siya sa mga African dictators. So, makikita nyo that there is a difference. Yung kina Pol Pot, it was a genocide. Yung sa mga African, pinapatay nila yung mga taga-ibang tribu. But dito, if there are killings at all, which I think it could be defended, hindi naman nakalimit sa isang lugar, halimbawa sa Palawan. Gusto natin mawala lahat yung mga native sa Palawan. O kaya sa Zambales, where you are targeting a specific class of people. But the class of people here are criminals. The ones who are the more on the hindi victims to it, but they are the perpetrators. I could be a little biased, but I read history. And when I make that comparison with Pol Pot to one, malayo-malayo, and I think ICC, if they have the fairness, and if they have the justice in their heart, decision na yan.
Meron lang po akong observation doon sa latag ng prosecution. It seems to me na ang theory talaga nila ay nag-zero in sa command responsibility doctrine ng nasasakdal na si dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte. So, kailangan nilang patunayan meron siyang authority and he knows what happened. At there is a part in him that he failed to stop what happened, this carnage. Ito po bang command responsibility doctrine, mag-hold water po ba ito sa ICC?
Well, depended yung sa ebidensya dyan. But there was never any official governing policy to kill these people. There was an official policy na suppliin ng drug menace. And what do you expect from people who are drug research, etc. Siyempre, lalaban ho yan. So, pag lumaban yan, there will be police can defend themselves. But still, hindi, wala din ang debate. Ang debate din if it is crime against a particular race. But there's never any case that is filed na sinasabing there's a crime against humanity. So if there would be any crime at all, at mga cases, it has to be filed in our local courts. Kasi walang jurisdiction. I think that will be part of the issue in the end. Na walang jurisdiction ang ICC against common crime, against, wala naman ho tayo sa ating libro, yung penal code, ng crime against humanity.
Yeah.
Although these are part of the world order, kaya nga merong ICC, kaya nga primusecute yung mga dictators, because saan patatakbong tao, they cannot use their own courts. Dito ko sa atin, functioning mo yun you can file a case. Kung itong complainant, hintayin yung matapos yung term Duterte, matapos niya, then you can prosecute the case.
Alright. Sige, parang may yung kanina, Professor Dennis, yung binabanggit natin na yung tukol doon sa jurisdiction. Anyway, baka mayroon kang gustong hingin pang pagpapaliwanag kay, sa konteksto niya.
Actually, good evening. By the way, good evening, Dean Valdez. I do agree with your suggestion regarding the, what should have been the position of the defense. That, they should have included the argument that the actions of the former president, which are regarded to as crime against humanity, should have been portrayed as mere crime prevention. That's one. And then I think there's wisdom in your suggestion that if we go back to world history, And if we compare the former president's actions to the, say for example, to the actions of the African dictators and the Cambodian dictator Pol Pot, then Duterte's case would be a different case. But I'd like to ask, Dean, did the prosecution successfully establish the foundation of its case during its opening statement?
Hindi ko na-monitor yan. Si Dennis dito, si Dennis.
Yes, that's
po.
Dennis. That's Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis, hindi ko na-monitor yun. But I don't think they had a valid argument. Ang tawag natin dyan shoehorning. Yung shoehorning, pag hindi lalapat yung paa mo doon sa sapatos mo, pinuputol mo yung paa mo. Para makasuot ka ng sapatos. Which is clearly already a fallacious argument. So nag-shoehorning lang yung prosecution. I think they want to prove that their office is still functioning, their office is still relevant toward affairs. Yung kay Putin na lang, for example, hindi ba crime against humanity yun? Ang laki-laki ng property mo, you own practically 1/3 the world, you still want to get your pay.
Yeah.
Tapos, lot of deaths as a result of the war. Yes, crime against humanity yun, sir. Pero yung kay President Duterte, ang layo dyan sa mga examples na yan, sir. And if you want to define crime against humanity, it has been defined by the crime, by the case of Pol Pot. It's been defined by the crime committed in the Holocaust by Hitler against the Jewish people. Very clear example ho yan. Madali namang i-define yan because you know what is black, you know what is white. Ayun, they are defining it by shoehorning, pinuputol nila yung paan nila just so they could function as. So pag may mga napatay in the course of this campaign against drugs, it is not a crime against humanity. May namatay, may homicide, may murder, kung nag-overreach yung mga police, then we have to prosecute them under our own system, under our own legal institutions.
All right. Dean Valdez, as we go further in this conversation, I just need to ask this question. How do you think, how effective was the defense in framing the proceedings as something that is politically motivated?
Well, effective because yung kanilang moves is attracting people's attention to President Duterte. Kasi ang naka-trial, what is at trial dyan, is style of governance. And once the attention of the world will be directed towards the president, and they did it right, then they will try to evaluate the risk he took in order to address your day-to-day problem, serious day-to-day problem natin.
Okay. All right. We'll just take a quick break. But when we return, we shift our focus to the courtroom itself, examining the performance of lead defense counsel, Attorney Nicholas Kaufman, and how the prosecution presented its case during the ICC confirmation hearings. Who gained early ground and whose arguments carried more weight at this crucial stage of the proceedings. Stay with us. The PH Insider will be right back after the break.